And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday, December 13th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We thank you for joining us here on a Monday morning. Almost the middle of December already, but we're ready to talk about Absolute Kubota this morning. Don Hamlet is with us. Don, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
You too, Coleman.
We've already been talking about what transpired over the weekend, and we don't need to rehash a lot of that, I guess, but your heart goes out to the people, especially in Kentucky, and all the terrible things that happened.
Yeah. A lot of people are suffering.
And for most of us here, I think we're pretty safe and sound.
I think here in Lebanon, everybody was okay. I think some of our friends down in Mount Juliet might have, suffered a few little damages. But
well, Don, of course, is with Absolute Kubota. He's one of the two salespeople there at 1506 West Main. They have Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs, everything. Now, this is your words, from weed eaters to hay balers.
That's right.
So what do you want to talk about this morning?
We just want to thank everybody for a great year that we've had. We really appreciate everyone's business. Just want to remind everyone that, I always try to remind everyone this time of year, don't put off until April. Maybe bring in your lawnmowers and your other tractors, your other equipment in that you may normally get serviced in the springtime. Don't wait till the rush hits. Just bring that on in and leisurely get that done this winter. Once again, they'll work on everything back there from weed eaters to hay balers. So any of your tractors, your RTVs, your implements, anything, all the guys back in the shop, they're ready to go to work and get you fixed up and ready to go.
Well, I think you all pride yourself on having a good service department.
We do. We work really hard. Like I said the other day, not everybody gets excited. It's, when you have to take something to the service department, but I think they really care. They understand that you're down and that you want to be back up and going, and they want to get you back up and going as quickly as possible. All across America, I think we've had a little bit of a slowdown of being able to get, several things. But right now, as far as I can tell, all the parts and things that everyone needs, that stuff is still flowing. We have a good parts department. If you like doing your own maintenance and, tinkering around with your own equipment, they have everything. Mostly there's going to be in stock. All your oil filters, your hydraulic fluids, those filters, your blades, they're going to have that stuff in stock all the time, just ready just to come in, grab it, and go.
Well, if you've got a problem with something running or running right, you really need to get that on in there now. But even the maintenance itself, why wait till spring right before you need it?
There's no problem to do your maintenance on your lawn equipment right now. You don't have to wait until the day before you start mowing your grass and your wife's already fussing at you because, you're probably a couple of weeks behind. Maybe you've been turkey hunting too much or playing golf and you need to get out there and cut your grass. Go ahead and get your equipment taken care of now. So when that time comes, you're ready to jump on it and get after it.
Well, how are you with RTVs? They're a popular number. They're a pretty good gift idea too.
They're so popular we can't keep them in stock. Actually, I've got a young man here in town. I've got a call this morning. Sent him a quote Saturday afternoon. Me and my grandson were in a parade up in Hartsville. I got back. I got him a quote and got it emailed over to him. I promised him I would give him a call this morning. Kubota equipment. It's not that they don't have chips or some things that the other companies are having trouble with in the United States. They just simply cannot keep up with demand. The public demand for lawnmowers and tractors and construction equipment has been so high this year that they just physically can't build the numbers that they need to keep up.
That's really a good problem to have.
I guess for Kubota it is. It's just kind of frustrating from a salesman standpoint. When a customer comes in and they're needing something right now, it's tough to look at them and say it may be a few weeks before I can get that together for you and get it ready, and it's really hard. Traditionally, I would just go to another dealer and swap them something, but for the equipment that my customer needs. But right now, they're all the Kubota dealers are in the same boat. Everybody just has low numbers of units in stock, but we're doing our best to get it in, get it set up, get it going, and get it delivered as quickly as possible.
Well, I'm just wondering, what is Kubota doing about this situation?
They're working all the overtime
Well, they
can.
need to be hiring more, sounds like.
Well, I mean, with big equipment like this, it's not like, okay, I need to make more pencils, and you can get some little small piece of equipment that can all of a sudden put out 10,000 more pencils a day. We're talking about big tractors and construction equipment, and it's hard to really get geared up to make those things in the numbers that they need to, and then maybe 2 years from now, everything will kind of smooth back out. But our area's growing. Wilson County's growing. A lot of equipment, new homes going up all the time. We realize that with a new home, you may need some new equipment. You may need a lawnmower, a weed eater, different pieces of equipment, and we just want to be there to try to help everyone out with their needs.
All right. You're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's
right
correct.
Now.
That is correct.
A little later, you may get back on Saturday, but not
Probably the first Saturday in February, we should be getting back open. We've just chosen, with our competition and everything that's going on in the market in this area, that on Saturdays during a couple of months in the winter, we're just going to be closed. So just heads up, if you get up on Saturday morning and say, hey, I need to run over to Absolute and get something, just remember you might want to stop by there Friday afternoon before you run home.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're here for the month of December, so we'll see you next Monday.
Yes,
and
sir.
Have a great week.
You too.
And we'll talk to you then.
Have a good one.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
That's Don Hamlet. He's with Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon. Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. 10 minutes after the hour, I've invited Philip Warren to come and be my guest this morning. And I guess the main reason for this date here is a new building dedication and open house coming up this week. And Philip, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
I guess you and I could talk about the storm for a moment here. You sustained, you had to do a little work.
Yeah, just a tree down. got to use a chainsaw a little bit.
Enough to make you sore.
It is. Wasn't quite used to that.
But everything's okay.
It is.
Well, good. You have been at the old post office building from the time you became the
Administrator.
the administrator of elections, and you finally outgrew it. But you did, and I think you love that old building. You did, I think most people would agree with me, such a great job in partially restoring it, at least, renovating it, making it functional, and it's served its purpose for a good long while. But you finally just outgrown it. Is that about right?
We have, and over the years, and just like Don said, the county's really growing. Wilson County has gone from 80-something thousand people, 15 years ago. We're almost at 150,000 people in the county right now. Grown from 113 10 years ago to 150 this year. So the needs changed. Our equipment changed. Our whole systems have. And yes, we love that old building. It was 100 years old. While I was there, so we celebrated
I think
that.
You especially did.
I do.
And you considered it a challenge. And I mean, you really went after it with gusto.
Well, we did. It was a great old building, and it served the people of Wilson County well for many years. It really has. But it was time. We had the opportunity, the county did, to purchase some land next to the courthouse, which is always a positive to have land next to you and get the old Fred's building. And they did a magnificent job. I really thank the county commission for what they did and the foresight they had to buy that building, renovate that building, and put something together for Wilson County. It's not just a showpiece now, but it'll be available and useful to the county for probably another 50 years.
Well, I was going to ask you, will it last as long as this one has?
Absolutely.
Maybe longer.
It was designed with growth in mind.
Yeah.
It wasn't something we did and put together to take care of what happened yesterday, but it was designed to be able to be grown with, and with just technology changes, and the county continues to grow.
Well, to describe it a little bit, we'll do that and go to a break here. But a lot of changes, obviously, because it was sort of a department store. Fred's people
Right.
been here know what Fred's building was like, but it's certainly changed.
We have no ice cream machines, and that's been a real problem because people come in and want to know, where is it? Yeah, we always came over here and got our ice cream. When you walk in the building, and we hope people will come Wednesday and take a look at it, because it is a really nice building, you would not know it was an old grocery store or Fred's. The inside is it's brand new. As far as voting, it's going to be great. There are no steps, no things that you have to go over to get in. Size-wise, it's huge compared to where we were before. We turned a lot of people through that building to vote. This is going to be so much better, so much quicker, so much nicer for the public.
What was the cost for this? You know roughly what?
I think total between purchasing the property and renovating it right at $2 million.
$2 million.
Right.
Well, no doubt you consider that $2 million well spent. The value of the property is probably going to appreciate if nothing else. But if it's going to serve you 50 years,
we won't be around to see that.
But
we might be.
It sounds like you are and have prepared well for the future here.
It should be. That's what when we built that, or when we helped design that with the architect, that was what we had in mind, was growth, because we've seen what happened with the old election commission building, the old post office. You know, it served the county for 100 years. That's the oldest public building in Wilson County, still is. And it served the county in one way or another for 100 years.
Well, I don't think you have anything to do with this, but do you know what's gonna happen to the building? Well, it's going to be used for something, isn't it?
I certainly hope so. I have no idea.
Okay. With that, we'll take a break. Philip Warren is here. More coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase quite a bit actually down Ellington Parkway right now, coming down from the top to the bottom. Wilson County traffic's also on the increase westbound I-40 as you come in to Davidson County, wrapping up that earlier wreck, Bell Road at Dotson Chapel. Princess Hot Chicken now available for catering during this holiday season. Call Princess Hot Chicken, or better yet, log on to princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Calling all horse lovers. Do you need a new zero turn for your horse farm? Call Absolute Kubota today at 615-449-6171 and ask about their special equine discounts on Exmark mowers. Exmark picked 2-to-1 over any other brand. Step up to an Exmark at your farm or ranch today so you can get back to what you enjoy, your horses. Call 615-449-6171 or stop by and see the team at Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon. Exmark, ready to work for you.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning, and if you just turned our way, we thank you very much. Let me remind you, the American Red Cross Blood Mobile blood drive will be at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital tomorrow, Tuesday, December 14th, 12 noon to 5 p.m., and you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can visit redcrossblood.org and enter Vanderbilt Wilson County to schedule an appointment. And of course, blood is always needed, and maybe even more so right now. Well, Philip Warren is here, Administrator of Elections, inviting everybody to join the celebration this Wednesday, December 15th, the new building dedication open house over on Gay Street, 230 East Gay Street. We've been talking about that already this morning. And I'm looking, I had printed off the announcement, but you handed me a color brochure here. And you've got some red, white, and blue.
That's right.
So a little patriotic coloring there, it looks like.
Well, it's a patriotic building.
Yeah. Well, you still have about the same number of people who help you and get the job done, operate the election commission office?
We do. We've got a full-time staff of 5, and then, of course, during elections, we'll go to 350 or 400 that staff all the vote centers in the county.
Well, the celebration Wednesday, the flyer here says 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, you're going to have an official dedication, aren't you?
We will. We'll start that at 10. We'll do that at 10, and then throughout the day, just come and go, and just come and look at the building. And
well, is it primarily 10 to 2, or later after 2 is okay?
that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Sure. We always invite people to come by.
You're not going to turn anybody away.
We would not.
But you have some special guests here, actually, from the. In addition to County Mayor Hutto, you've got some people from the state.
We do. Secretary Hargett will be there. Secretary of State Hargett will be there. He's, of course, in charge of elections statewide. And Coordinator Goins, who is in charge who's the coordinator of elections for the state, will be there. So those that have input into elections or responsibility for them on the state level, we've asked them to be a part of this.
Well, has Secretary of State Hargett been here, seen what was going on, or is this going to be totally new to him?
This will be new to all of them. Absolutely.
So they haven't seen or looked over your shoulder at any time during the process?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, okay. Well, I was just wondering, well, they probably in for a pretty nice surprise then.
I guarantee they will be.
How long will your 10 o'clock ceremony last? Have any idea?
Probably 30, 45 minutes.
Okay. Not a long drawn out, not a lot of long speeches.
That's right. We've got politicians there, so who knows? But I think we probably can contain it.
Well, it's something to show off. Honestly, I think it's something we can all be proud of. You've already explained earlier, and have been doing it for quite some time, how you outgrew the other building. But there were, as wonderful as we want to think of that old post office building and preserving it, I'm glad we have and all of this, but it wasn't as easily accessible as your new one's going to be. There were some drawbacks there, really, that you just sort of lived with all that time.
Well, there were, but any 100-year-old building is going to have its drawbacks, but it also has a character that you can't build.
Yeah.
It had history in the walls as you walked through it. But when we have public coming through, and we'll have tens of thousands of people literally come through there to vote every election, and next year we have 3. Last year in 2020 we had 3. That's a lot of people to go through there. And in 1913, steps were common and ramps were not. Yeah. And things are much different now than they were then. So we've had to adapt.
I can remember as a little boy going to the post office there. Mr. Albert Fite, I believe, was the postmaster.
Mm-hmm, it was.
And it was kind of an experience walking up those steps and walking in there. A lot of brass that was polished, and I guess still is.
There was, and when you walk in, the old steps have grooves in them where they've been walked on for so many years and worn down, and the marble inside there were little dips there where people stood. And you just think about all the people that came through there in that 100 years or 80 years that it was a post office, and the stories that were told.
Well, we'll hang on to that, but we're going to be thankful to have a new building and the dedication and open house. Everybody, the whole public's invited to
Absolutely.
attend. You never know how many people to expect. The weather's going to have some bearing on that, I guess, but I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good.
It should be.
Yeah.
We expect it to be.
Well, you mentioned elections, and we have a primary coming up, I believe, in May.
Correct.
Actually, 2. There's Democrat and Republican primaries.
That's right.
And then the general election in August.
Correct.
Is that it for this year?
No, in November. Got the general election in November.
Of course.
So we've got 3 big elections this year.
Yeah, right.
Or this coming year.
There'll be not only the general election in August, but the Republican and Democrat primaries outside the county.
Right. In May will be the county primary, Republican and Democratic primary in May. August is the county general election. So those that win in May for their parties, along with all independents that qualify, will be on the general ballot in August. And you have the state and federal primary also in August. Governor's on the ballot this year, as well as our state senator and both representatives. Then in November, you have the general election for the federal and state and all the cities. All 3 cities have an election.
So it's 2022 will be
busy
quite
year.
A big election year.
It will be. It will be.
And every 4 years, it's kind of that way.
Well, every 4 years for the county, but this year also is an 8-year part of the 8-year cycle for the judges. That's right. All the 15th Judicial Circuit, all the judges in the county, everybody's on the ballot this year, except for the property assessor, and he's on 2 years from now.
Does that need to be changed?
I don't know.
It's always been that. I remember
it
has because once upon a time we elected a school superintendent, and they were in that off year too.
Right.
The superintendent and the property assessor, and that was that was pretty much it. But then we appointed a school director, and so that did away with an election there.
Right.
So, well, one thing about it, the property assessor's race does get a lot of attention because
it certainly does.
Just about all directed that way. Any changes that been legislated or otherwise that we need to talk about?
Not this year. Tennessee has some really good election laws. I've said it, I'll say it again. That in Tennessee, if you want to vote and you're eligible to vote, with just a little bit of effort, everybody can vote. The law's been put in place over many, many years. You probably go back into the 70s with election law in Tennessee. A lot of states you hear about changing their laws or updating their laws. They're kind of just catching up to what Tennessee's already been doing. Nothing new this year, nothing new out of last year's legislative session. We don't know, of course, what this year's session would be, but it might be a little late to implement it, for these elections. But we have good election law in Tennessee.
Well, I think as long as everybody that's holding an election in Tennessee just follows the laws, the rules, the regulations, we don't have any problem.
Absolutely, and that's the key to it. We have good election law that's put together by our state legislature, and we all know the state legislature doesn't move quickly on much anything, but that's a good thing. Being deliberate, taking your time, and hearing all sides before a vote makes good laws.
Do you have many complaints, and especially legitimate complaints about? I know a machine can break down, or there can be a particular situation where you maybe have to. Something you're not familiar with happens all of a sudden on election day or something. But other than something like that, do you have any real complaints about the way we do?
Not really, and that's what we've tried to do over the last 11 years is create a system, processes, procedures, and train the workers that are implementing those things so that anything that comes up like that can be handled quickly, efficiently, and honestly, fairly. Of course, we had in March of 2020, we had the ultimate when the tornado hit the county on Election Day. And I think that's a testament, the way that came out. 10,000 people, as many people voted on that day after the tornado as voted all during early voting. We had that many people show up to vote. We were down several polling places on Election Day. Several of the 16 we had open, 10 of them didn't have power when we opened up that morning. And I think it's a real testament to our workers, the way they're trained, the way they know what to do, and the equipment and procedures we have in place. People still got to vote. They still got in, got out. The lines were a little bit longer. Some of them had to do it by flashlight. But every vote was cast. Every vote was counted. And we had a good, honest, fair election and an efficient election.
Well, one of the things, you're somewhat of an innovator yourself, really in more ways than one, building-wise, but you came up with this idea. And I know that in the past, people always voted a certain place, and there's a little, I guess, sentimentality. We've always done it this way. We don't want to change. But you were innovative to come up with this idea of not having to vote at just one place, or just having one place where you're able to vote on Election Day. And that seems to me has been a great.
It has been a tremendous benefit to our county. And yes, years ago, when our county was still small, wasn't growing, those locations were important. We're a very mobile county. We have people moving in. We're doing 500 or 600 new registrations every month, and that's not in election years. A lot of new people moving into the county from all over the world, not just from all over the country, but all over the world. And being tied to a small community is not what it was prior. But yeah, being able to vote where you want to, convenience is key. We saw a huge turnout difference this last election.
Well, haven't some other people taken note and maybe going to be doing this too?
We are one of, I think, 4 counties in the state that are allowed to do that, and it's had to be legislatively created. So, yeah, it's something that's catching on. It's not for everyone. Not every county has the same benefits we have in Wilson County. We have great people, not just poll workers, but voters. We have really great people in this county. I can't say enough about them. Some counties are just not quite where they need to be, or size-wise, or equipment-wise, procedure-wise to handle that. But it's been really good in the counties that do it.
Well, I think we've had some people that are coming to see how you do it too. We've been watched a little bit. You've been teaching some people.
We get watched a lot.
Our final minute here, Philip. Let's talk again about Wednesday. It's going to be. This is really really a great day for you
It is.
and the election commission office. The new building dedication open house at 230 East Gate. And again, you've got coming from the state.
Secretary Hargett, Coordinator Goins, and of course, Randall Hutto representing the county commission.
And this will start promptly at 10 o'clock, the official dedication, but the open house goes at least until 2 and even later.
That's
if
right.
you need to be.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you coming out, and many times we've had you here at 7:30. I don't know which one's easier for you, or does it matter?
But to have to get up anyway.
There are some people who just insist on coming at 7:30. I'm glad you're not one of them. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you have a wonderful dedication and open house, and just keep up the good work.
Thank you, Coleman. Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you. That is Philip Warren, and he's Administrator for Elections, and that's part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Keep it here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's quite busy actually on 24, but it's moving coming past Harding Place. All that traffic coming in from Rutherford County right now. Lots of radar still out here. Give yourself extra time. It looked like a minor wreck in Madison on the Interstate 65 southbound between OHB and Briley Parkway. Still heavy 24 right now coming in from the Jolton area. Princess Hot Chicken, now available for catering during this holiday season. Check them out at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams from your Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to rockywilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to rockywilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
Hi, I'm Mayor Rick Bell,
And I'm Sarah Haston, your Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon.
and we're asking each of you to shop Lebanon this Christmas season.
Are you ready for the hustle and bustle, Mayor?
Absolutely, 'tis the season, and I'm ready to get everyone checked off my list by shopping Lebanon and shopping small.
Well, it's definitely important to support our Lebanon business community.
Indeed, our Lebanon businesses are the backbone of our community, and they support us all year.
That's right. Let's show some local love at Christmas. We are asking everyone to commit to give back by shopping your local retailers here in Lebanon.
Have a Merry Christmas from all of us at the City of Lebanon.
Hi, I'm Mark Hinesley, President of the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. What are your favorite small businesses or restaurants in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Watertown? TNCommunity.com can give you local places for all of your shopping needs this season.
Hi, I'm Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce, and I invite everyone to visit the website TNCommunity.com. If you're a business in Wilson County, we want to promote you. If you're a consumer in Wilson County, we encourage you to shop, eat, and play all day, every day.
9 local banks join forces again by partnering with all 3 chambers and plan to execute the TN Community Initiative encouraging you to shop small businesses.
Please choose which participating businesses you want to support. Check out Shop, Eat, and Play businesses in Lebanon
Mount Juliet.
and Watertown.
Every business was a small business. Let's support our community by coming together to support our friends and neighbors. Pick up your bucks at any participating bank location. For more information regarding the TN Community Initiative, call any Chamber of Commerce in Wilson County.
To kick off your work week, highs will top out in the upper 50s with sunny skies. On Tuesday, skies will be bright and sunny with temperatures climbing into the mid-60s. For Wednesday, skies will be a mix of sunny clouds. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
And And we welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Monday morning. We got old No Haggle with us. Billy Mullinax, General Manager for Rocky Williams Premier, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It's nice to see you today.
It's always good to be here.
All bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say.
That's exactly right. I get out of bed on Monday just anxious to come see you.
Well, I don't know when you've ever missed. If you told us one time.
One time.
You've missed one Monday in all these years.
One Monday, and we started doing this back in 2012, Coleman.
Well,
so it's been every Monday since then.
You remember what month we started? I don't.
About July, August.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
I guess we've already nicknamed you No Haggle, maybe Old Faithful will be another. But we better get talking about selling cars here, because that's the name of the game there at 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet.
That's exactly right, Coleman, and all with our great low, no haggle prices, where we price our cars and not our customers, and everybody gets the same great low price.
Right, and that's what I usually start out with, and I'm glad you said it this morning.
That's all right. We can go back and forth with it, Coleman.
Do it a little different, but we always remind everybody to see the entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars at RockyWilliams.com.
Might even see your neighbor there.
Our day's a total loss. We don't get that.
Yep, now we're done for the day, Coleman. We can have fun now.
Well, how are things?
Coleman, December's always a really great month, one of the best automotive months, not just for us, but for everybody of the year. And we are having a great month. Got a great selection on pre-owned inventory. We've gotten quite a few new vehicles in this month, so be a great time for people to, if you're interested in looking at something and kind of been waiting, thinking, well, I'm going to wait till they get a little more inventory. Now, just look a little bit. It's a little bit better than it was and has been.
Yeah. Truck's still a big number.
They are, Coleman. Jeep products are our number one seller. And trucks, Ram trucks, they're right behind them, though. So they're both great products. They're both great sellers. Both have won many, many awards.
Yeah.
So the new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer are out for 2022. We do not have a new one on the lot right now, but I do have a couple of both of those that are in transit right now. So they will be there, very, very shortly.
This week? Maybe.
It's hard, like everything else, transportation also is a little bit crazy right now. 2 years ago when something went in transit, I could tell you pretty close to the day it was going to be there. Now, not so much so.
You still have a few, sometimes a person wants a pretty good car and then want to put hopefully more than $10,000 or $12,000 in it, preferably $8,000 even sometimes.
Right. Coleman, we have those vehicles also, not as many, because we want to make sure that when we put something on the lot, that it is a good quality vehicle to sell to someone. And unfortunately, as everybody knows, vehicle prices have gone way up. Then also, it's kind of hard to find that really good, dependable $8,000 to $10,000 vehicle anymore. It's sad, but we do have vehicles that are 10,000 or less, some, but not as many. That's for sure.
Right, and the cost of the factor that you just mentioned there plays into that, no doubt. What you might have paid $10,000 for a couple of years ago is probably 12 or 13 now.
Well, that's exactly right, or maybe even a little more, Coleman.
Yeah.
I mean, you think back, and it's I think back in my lifetime, used to. $15,000 was a whole lot for a new car.
It was.
$20,000 was really a a luxury car. Well, now that's just really a base model car.
Yeah, how the times have changed.
That's exactly right. It's true with everything, though, not just vehicles, houses and groceries and everything.
Well, again, we want to remind everybody you're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Got a good month going for you. And we won't talk about the end of the month here because today's just the 13th. But,
yep, and it don't end till January the 3rd this time, Coleman. So we've still got we've got quite a ways to go yet.
Well, you sure do. No haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price at Rocky Williams, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. And that's 600 Pleasant Grove Road again's on the north side of the interstate.
On the easy side, Coleman.
The easy side.
That's right.
Billy, thanks for being with us. Have a good week.
Thank you. We'll see you next Monday.
Next Monday. All right. Well, that's it for Rocky Williams this morning. We're about 20 and a half minutes away from 8 o'clock. I've got a special guest this morning. I really do. Haven't announced this ahead of time, but I want to welcome Cindy Coleman. Cindy is here live in studio. Cindy, good morning.
Good morning.
It is nice to see you today, and you've got a story to tell, and I hope you're going to enjoy sharing that with us today. And I don't want to talk just about what your life has been like in the last year and a half or 2 years, however long it's been. I want to kind of start at the beginning, maybe, but I guess the first time I remember you at all, if my memory is right, was think you were working as a teller at People's Bank.
Mm-hmm. I was.
And but let's go back a little bit before that. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dixon, Tennessee.
Dixon, Tennessee.
Went to school at Murfreesboro.
Middle Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you started to college, or maybe even in high school, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do in life?
Well, I had big dreams of advertising and public relations. That's what I was going to do. And fell in love. And so I ended up here in Lebanon. And I'm so glad. I mean, it was a good call.
The banking part, did that just sort of happen? You needed a job? Or?
I just needed a job and started at People's and eventually became Randall's assistant. And then when Wilson Bank and Trust was one of the original 7. And so I worked for Wilson Bank for about 7 years, almost 7. And then I had the dream to go back to school to be a nurse. So,
well, I don't think you, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I don't think you hated the banking business.
No,
I think you are a people person. You love interacting with people. I know you did a good job.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, you wanted to do something, you want to be a nurse.
Well, it's easier to get blood out of people than money, so. So I switched careers.
I have not heard that before. Easier to get blood out of people than money, but I think there's some truth there. Well, what was it like? You had to go back to school.
I did. Though I had a bachelor's degree, I had once Cumberland brought the program to Lebanon and Cumberland University. That's when I decided I could go back. Had 2 small children at home, so I did school for about 2.5 years. Did my clinicals, and then I've worked at the hospital here ever since.
Well, tell us about your 2 children. I remember a son when he played Babe Ruth baseball.
Right,
and best I remember, he was a pretty good ball player.
He was a good ball player. He loved it, and he's working here. He works in Lebanon for Advanced Propane.
Mm-hmm.
Then my oldest daughter, Jessica, is a PA, which is a physician's assistant, and so she's medical, and she works in Shelbyville. And then my middle daughter, Kelly, is a nurse anesthetist at Centennial. So 2 went into the medical field and the other one stayed as far away as he could. So,
so 2 out of 3.
Right.
What was it like making the change from banking to medical?
Well, they're both people businesses, and you have to love what you do. You have to be able to interact and talk with people and see how they're feeling. Sometimes it's more than just a physical need. It's maybe a mental need. So that part was easy for me because I do love to be around people and take care of them. So.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, once upon a time, I was in the ICU unit, and I remember you being there.
I've been all over the hospital.
Is there a part of that you like better than others?
Right now, I'm working from home a lot of the time just because COVID is still out there and I don't want to be around it too much. But I did most of my career in the emergency room, so that was my love.
I just have to take my hat off to people who can do that, who can maintain a sense of mind, can think, that's one of the last places I'd want to be, quite honestly.
It's interesting.
Either way, either
Yes.
bad hurt or trying to take care of somebody.
Right.
But I'm glad there are people like you who are able to do that. But that doesn't scare you? I mean,
Doesn't scare me. No, it's a young people's game, I would say, but now I'm working in same-day surgery, and so that's where it's a little different. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Because people are just coming
we
in.
need to take a break. But
Okay.
for those who don't know Cindy Comer, you went through a terrible time, I guess we'd say, about the last 2 years.
It started October 2020.
All right. So, okay, the last
Yeah.
year then. All right. Well, we're going to talk about that when we come back because you not only you had COVID, there's a lot of people who wasn't sure you was going to make it.
True.
Okay. Cindy Comer's here. We got more coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day, servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1506 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still quite busy, but it's moving on. 24 coming in from the Jolton area. Just heavy trying to get past Whites Creek Pike. Still working with a couple of wrecks out here, including that one on 40 westbound just past Donaldson Pike over near the airport as that traffic volume starts to really increase. Now on I-40 coming out of Wilson County. Donut Distillery presents Boozin' with Buddy. Stop by their Christmas pop-up bar, fresh donuts, and so much more. Log on to donutdistillery.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather, but just like the weather, one moment it's sunny and the next you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help, a reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
Hello, we are A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, community trusted since 1977.
One of the real joys of the holiday season is the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for your business.
And most importantly, your trust in us.
From everyone at A.G. & Johnson, we wish you a happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holiday season!
It's Pittsburgh week. The Titans travel to Heinz Field this Sunday. Titans Countdown presented by Farm Bureau Health Plan starts at 11. Then the Titans and the Steelers do battle where the three rivers converge. Mike Keith and Dave McGinnis have the call that starts at noon. These games are physical. Hear it all here.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Ball Plumbing, the Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee 811. Call before you dig.
This is Titans Radio, 98.9 WANT.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village is back for their 12th annual celebration of the magical Christmas season. With over 2 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all perfectly synchronized to some rockin' Christmas tunes, you'll experience the dazzling sights and sounds of the Dancing Lights of Christmas from inside the comfort of your own vehicle. And for the first time ever, helicopter rides are available where you can see the lights dance from the sky. The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village at the Wilson County Fairgrounds, 5 p.m. nightly, including all holidays. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com.
Coleman and Company here on a Monday morning. Cindy Comer is my guest. You are RN, registered nurse. Well, let me remind folks of a couple of things. I'm going to get back to Cindy in just a moment, but I do need to remind you about the American Red Cross Blood Mobile going to be at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital tomorrow, Tuesday, December 14th, 12 noon to 5 p.m. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. You can also visit redcrossblood.org and enter Vanderbilt Wilson County to schedule yourself an appointment. And one other thing, I promised Jeff Hallams I would remind you of his open house. He has a thing called it is called Fam Essentials. And he's going to be here, I think, Wednesday to talk about the open house that's scheduled for this Thursday, December 16th from 5 to 8 p.m. And this is at 703 South Cumberland, Suite C2. So we'll tell you more then. Just keep that in mind. And if you know Jeff, you know he's got a lot going and going to do a great job. But Cindy Comer is here. And Cindy, we've talked about your background. You grew up in Dixon. You went to high school there. You went to Middle Tennessee State. And you became in the banking business, but you wanted to be a nurse. So even with two small children, you studied at Cumberland.
Right.
You an RN. You went to work. I guess it was University Medical Center, now Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. But you are working again.
Yes. Yes.
But you've gone through the COVID thing, and I know there's a lot of this you don't remember, but I want you, if you will, as best you can, share your experience with us this morning. There were a lot of people, including me, that were greatly concerned about you. You were on a lot of prayer lists, but you've made it through, and we thank God for that. But I thank you as well for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. So on October the 11th of 2020, I woke up, I was getting ready for work, and I couldn't taste my coffee. And I knew something was wrong. And then I couldn't smell my perfume. And I thought, oh, this is not good. So I kept spraying on perfume. There's no telling what I smelled like when I finally went to the hospital.
So you couldn't taste and you couldn't smell?
Couldn't taste or smell, but I wasn't, no fever, didn't really have a cough. So I was positive, and so I was on my 10-day quarantine. And people wanted to come and check, like my girls or Alex or my sister, they wanted to come check, and I wouldn't let anybody come because I didn't want them to get it.
Yeah.
And about the 9th day in, a friend called me, Karen Corn, and she probably saved my life. She knew I didn't sound right, and she's gone through a tragedy. She just lost her 32-year-old son, but she's the reason why I'm here. She called my son, and Alex came over to the house, and Jimmy came, and they called an ambulance because I was just out of it. So that's the last thing I remember until middle of December.
How long was that?
That was October the 23rd. I was
so
admitted.
We're talking about 5 or 6 weeks here.
Yes, yes. I was intubated pretty quickly, I understand, when I got down there. And then there were just all kinds of highs and lows. I would have a good day, and then I would tank. And so I was intubated twice, ended up with a trach, had a peg tube. So now I got 2 belly buttons. I don't know how to wear my bikini. But there were many days the doctor thought I wouldn't wake up. You know, she just didn't think I'd wake up. But I did. And here I am.
Well, and really that's about it from your memory.
From my memory. Now, my girls did like pictures and video, you know, they videoed a lot of things or wrote it down, you know, so they could remember it. But they were, Jessica and Kelly, of course, they're both medical, but and it was at a time I was taken to Summit because they thought I'd had a stroke. But we weren't allowing visitors at our hospital, but Summit still was. So they got to be there every day. And their places of work were so good because they allowed them to come and be with me. And their knowledge and their concern and their, you know, just staying on top of things. I was just lucky, you know, that I had 2 advocates working, you know, with the doctors and nurses.
Well, I'll reveal my source a little bit here. I am doing a program, the last program I'll do in this calendar year, which will be on Thursday, December the 30th. I'm the first half, going to do some of the top stories of the year and prominent people that's passed away during the year. In order to do that, put that together, I have to have the use of our newspapers. So I'll give them credit here now, the Democrat and the Post. You had a letter, and I discovered this the other day when I saw that. I probably saw it at the time, but then when I was going through this and saw this, I saw that, read that. I've got to get her on the radio. She's got to talk about this. That's really why you're here today. But you had such a really a wonderful letter that you wrote and was printed in both. It may have been in Lunita may have carried this too in the Edge. I don't remember, but you were just thanking everybody and explaining your situation here, and the headline here says "Community Togetherness Heals This Virus Patient." That probably helped you a lot just to get this out. Thank people, tell your situation.
I cannot thank the number of people, the number of churches. My work family did a vigil. They got with my preacher and they did a vigil surrounding the hospital, praying for me. Just my sister and brother were there a lot. The care was incredible, and they didn't give up on me, you know. And it was eye-opening for my children because every day, though they've been in the medical field, they would see 2 or 3 people die. And so it was just a miracle that I managed to stay alive.
Well, it's wonderful. I think that you made it through, and we just appreciate you being here to talk about it. But what's going to happen now? I mean, you're back at work.
Yes.
You plan to keep on doing this as long as you can?
As long as I can, yes. I talk like a man now. My throat. I said I can only sing with Johnny Cash because my voice is so low. But yeah, I plan on working. I mean, my work family were tremendous support, and the hospital in general was just behind me all the way. So.
Well, are you back pretty much physically as to what you were prior, or do you have some limits now that you didn't have?
I do. My balance isn't quite as good as it was. I lost 40 pounds in 2 months while I was, but unfortunately, I've picked some of that back up. But physically, mentally has been a struggle because there is something true about COVID brain. It doesn't just affect your lungs, it affects your entire body and mindset, and makes you very appreciative to be alive.
Is there any message that you've got for people? I mean, you made it, some haven't, and you were probably as sick as a lot of them that didn't make it.
Right. I am pro-vaccine. You know, I recommend it for everybody. I just think that wearing masks, washing your hands, you know, we owe it to our children to take care of ourselves because a lot of them can't get the shot. So I am definitely pro-vaccine, and I just wish everybody would take it into consideration. I know some people have religious reasons, or it became too politicized, I think, but it's a good thing.
How, other than what we've already talked about, is any other ways really your life has changed, your outlook any different than it?
Oh, yeah, it's much. I actually moved to Shelbyville. If you had asked me in January, I would have said there's no way I could go back to work. So in the summer, I moved to Shelbyville where Jessica, my 2 granddaughters, and Jessica's husband, Luke, live. So now, but Vanderbilt, Wilson County, wonderful hospital, gave me the opportunity to work at home. So I appreciate all of my work people. I appreciate my family so much more. I always did, but I mean, it's just this affected my entire world. And those little kids of mine just held me up.
Yeah.
Keep me going.
So. Well, where are you living now?
Shelbyville.
You are in Shelbyville, okay.
Yeah, so I work from home about 3 days a week.
You work from home, and you have to come over here some, but like today.
Yes. And I overslept. I never oversleep. I overslept this morning, and forgot my tennis shoes.
But overall, are you as good as you're going to get, or you think there's even a higher
I think
plateau?
I can always. Yeah. I think I'll continue to get stronger and more muscle tone back. And I mean, I look like I came from a concentration camp when I got home. So I'm still working on the muscle tone
Yeah.
and the voice.
Well, I just I appreciate so much you being with us, and again, you can't go through something like this without it changing you some, I think. But hopefully, all this is for the good.
Yes.
And that you'll have many more years to be a nurse, to do what you're doing, to help people, and at least that's part of what life's all about, helping others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we're gonna end it here. If there's anything else you want to say, we're in our final minute here. We got 55 seconds.
Nope. Just everybody have a great day. Get vaccinated.
Well, I'm just so thankful that God has spared you,
Me too.
that you're still around. Your smiling face. Remember, I think you've done a great job in banking and in nursing all these years. No doubt you've been a fine mother too to these three children, and I thank you again for being with us
Well,
today.
thank you for having me.
Cindy Coleman, and that's her story this morning, and she's sticking to it, right?
I'm sticking to it.
It's been really nice to have Cindy here, and we wish her well, and we wish you well, and I hope that you'll join us tomorrow for the Tuesday edition. And until tomorrow, I wish you a magnificent